So you're a little bit confused, overwhelmed, frustrated with online digital advertising and all the different people that come through your door trying to sell you the right way to do it. I get that. I've been a business owner trying to buy advertising. 10 years I did retail. So I understand that frustration and that overwhelming kind of, daily part of your business that you have to deal with your business. Digital marketing is crazy. It's just there's so much information, so much knowledge, and it's changed so much over the years that you can't keep up with it. I can't keep up with it, and I do it full time. There's just too much, and so I've studied lots and lots of different kinds of things over the years, reputation management, Google advertising, Bing advertising. I've done television advertising, and I learned about the competitors back in those days when they were just TV, radio, newspaper kind of things, and ad specialties, billboards, those kinds of things that made it simple compared to today's world of advertising your business digitally and marketing online. So that's what I want to talk about again on this second part of this, what it goes into it. A lot of people don't even understand the difference between domain name registration, domain hosting, and then building your website. Those are three basically separate things when it comes to building your business website. If the domain name, first of all, doesn't have to be your business name. In fact, it should be more descriptive of what you do. That's going to match up more with Google and the way that Google categorizes and organizes information to make it easy for people to find what they're searching for when they're searching for it. So that's the first step. Any digital marketing, and your website starts with what you do online, not necessarily who you are, your business name. People don't care who you are. There's dozens of people that do what you do. They can find the next one if they don't like you. So, that's how business has changed. The customer loyalty thing, we all know, is kind of fallen a little bit to the wayside, not terribly, but there still that is, because people want to become fans of your business. If they're a fan of your business, they'll come back. And that's especially important for certain types of businesses. If you're just selling somebody once, hit and miss, it's maybe a little different approach. But overall, it's always the same approach. You always are going to be, satisfying your customers and giving them what they need. And then that's how you grow your business. That's true for any business, every business there is. So with that in mind, you got your domain name. Then you've got to have a computer somewhere to host that website. It's got to be, something that a hosting company like GoDaddy, I've been hosting websites. I've been doing the whole process all along, since the late 90s, because I wanted to make it simple, because it's, like I said, people are confused about what even domain name registration to website hosting and then building a website even involves for those three. And that's the first, those are cornerstones, the first steps of building a business website. So when you've got your domain name, you've got your hosting down, and then you've got your what you want to do with your website and in mind, at least some idea. What's the goals for the website? Do you want to have e-commerce? Are you going to just be an online brochure, which doesn't really work anymore in websites? That was a time when that's what they were, basically, it's an online brochure. But today, websites are interactive. You've got to have a way through your website, through your social media channels, to interact with your customers instantly. That's the thing that is important today. We all need instant gratification. That's our world that we live in, and all the conditioning that we've come to for these years. So when you're ready to set, you need to make those decisions for your business, because you probably have different levels. You sell products in your store, but if you're like a furniture store, you don't. Obviously, selling online is hard to get your brain around, because what do you do? How do you do that? Well, nowadays, for an example, with furniture, it's augmented reality is the term that is emerging. You may or may not have heard of that yet, but augmented reality means that people can basically take a picture of their living room, put your furniture from your website into their home, and see what it's going to look like. Before they ever come to your store, before they ever call you, they get to see what your products will look like in their home, how they can use your products. That's where it's gone. That's augmented reality for that. Then there's AI. You know what AI is? Now I'm drawing a blank, but because I don't want to get into that. But anyway, There's different technologies for different businesses that are going to work better, cost more, cost less. I built this business and been learning the free internet for 25 years or more. I saw those things a long time ago, and I saw how the internet, even back when I was selling television advertising, I thought, wow, that's a kind of a threat to my revenue, potentials in the future, because everybody can advertise for free. Well, that's how I saw it back then. I don't see it that way anymore, but the free is it's the key element basically to how to make it all work. You got to give somebody something free in order to entice them to do business with you. They get a little bit of taste of what you do, who you are, those kinds of things, and then they decide if they're comfortable doing business with you. The website has to have your testimonials, has to have satisfied customer stories. Your social media has to have those stories. All those kinds of things have to actually be a part of your marketing, your business, because that's what makes people feel comfortable doing business with you. So from there, it's about search. Okay, once you build that website, then it becomes about search marketing, and that search marketing becomes about other things now that are tied to the augmented reality and the AI and all those different things that artificial intelligence that are important to make important decisions that you need to make about your business and the future. Now, maybe your business isn't ready for augmented reality, but you're going to have to think ahead in terms of prepping what that's going to look like before, because with digital marketing and building online that way, building your business that way, having steps 1, 2, 3 in order before you get to 5, 6, 7 can be critically important. It can make or break your business, can make or break your success in your advertising campaigns. So it becomes very, very important to do things in the right order, the right way. For example, Facebook has started banning pages again for, they're tightening up the guidelines. So if your business doesn't follow those guidelines, you could lose your Facebook page. You can get it back. It takes time, you got to rebuild it, all that kind of thing. I mean, it's just those kinds of things that you have to be aware of. Another thing about a website many people aren't aware of. If you're collecting a name and address, a phone number kind of thing, trying to collect customer information and get your customer, find new prospects, that way, you have to have a privacy policy and a terms of service pages on your website. Now, those are usually the little tiny links at the bottom, text links that you click on that tell you about what you're purchasing. If it's a purchase, especially, but it's called GDPR now, where there's global guidelines that are falling into place that you're going to have to be doing certain things on your website to be compliant, to ensure privacy issues and all those kinds of things that are such a media hype that we get nowadays. So that's a part of it as well. You got to have those things, all those things in place, and you as a business owner are expected to know, just like any other law. If you violate that, don't have a privacy policy in terms of service on your website, and you get caught collecting names and addresses and emails, phone numbers of your prospects, you get big fines. I've heard of $10,000 fines and more. Depends on how big your company is and how much money they can extract from you. But those things exist in this world. So those are the things that New Tech Advertising does too, to work with, to make sure that you're doing things the right way. So that's what I'm talking about. First step, get your website, get all that together, and you've got domain name, domain hosting, build the website, and then maintain the website. Websites are not, once they're built, they're not done, because there's always ongoing maintenance, things that need to be done behind the scenes that you don't see and you don't need to see, you don't need to know about even. It's just security things, updates, all that, because we live in an ever-changing environment online. Everything, nothing is hack-proof. What somebody can create as hack-proof, somebody else can prove them wrong and overcome it. That's just the world we live in. And so, yeah, you have to be aware of those things. I don't live in fear of them anymore. I've been hacked. I've been beat down. All those things I've experienced at least once, so that I've gone through the process of understanding how your business might have to deal with it someday. And we can talk about the things that are important to you as they become important to you. Because how I work with my clients is, you pay me every month, I do something for you every month. There's just so many things that I can do for your business, from start to finish. I mean, if you need help with setting up your online Shopify or Square store, different things like that I've set up, so I can help you set up for e-commerce. But there's dozens of ways you can do that. Do you want to go through your bank and your credit card processing company? That's going to involve some, back and forth. I need support from the credit card company to get through the gateway and things like that. There's a whole lot of information to work through in that process. You want to just use Square? That's fine. Square is a great, easy way to do it because it's just a flat fee you can build into your cost of doing business, and you're online building, selling e-commerce. And then you can get into things like Shopify that are a little bit different, eBay, Amazon. Just about anybody can sell products online and using those others, but you got to think of those kinds of things as like an online store, or a mall type thing. Like you go to the mall, if you're selling your products on a Shopify, it's like Shopify is the mall, and you're the store in the mall. That's the Shopify draws traffic to their website. You benefit from that traffic because of there again. The only flaw with building your business only on that kind of platform is what happens when they change the rules, and it's happened again. Those kinds of things happen with people, and with those types of websites. These guys get big and they decide they get to play God, so they're going to change the rules, and they can take you out of business if you only rely on them. If you don't rely on them only, you'll survive it. So that's the kind of stuff that I can offer, the guidance and all of those kinds of things. Like I say, I've made mistakes. I've been along this process before, and I want to help guide your business through it. There's a lot more involved. Next time I'm going to talk about social media, how to work with that. This is more about websites and, having that first step, because then you're in control. Having your website, you own your domain name, and that's another thing. Sometimes you can get it with a web designer that kind of steals your name. They register .com, whatever, and they own it in terms of how they register it, what information goes into that, who is registration, that worldwide database that says who's got what name, who owns what name. That's the first step there, and I've seen it happen where these companies, these web designers will hold that name hostage and want a lot of money to get you out of, if you want to go somebody else. I don't do that. I may not put your name in the first step into that, because if I put my name and business information in there, it makes the setup process easier. Because if I have to verify or sign up your business with a certain company that's going to provide you a third-party widget or plug-in kind of thing that you need to work with for your business to make it work online, then I need that access. But I'll never hold your hostage. My company will never hold your domain name hostage, and you will always own it. And it will change it. And if I'm done, once I get through that setup process, I'll change everything so that it reflects your name, business name, as the actual ownership of that domain name. That's a global thing. That's the first step. You got to get that right. So we make sure that happens too. I appreciate you watching this video more than anything. I just really enjoy sharing my experiences with business owners and how I've made things work over the years, the mistakes I've made to help you avoid pitfalls, and that's what I'm guiding you through with these videos, and I hope that they're helpful to you. If they are, you're going to come back and keep going, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you. I appreciate your viewing.